All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into a young adult mystery novel
Yeah.
that's been making waves, The Inheritance Games.
Oh, yeah. This one's really grabbed readers.
It has. I mean, the premise itself is pretty captivating.
Yeah, definitely grabs you right away.
High school girl inherits billions from a billionaire she's never met.
I mean, come on. Total Cinderella story, but with a twist.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to be diving into today.
Yeah.
The layers, the twists, the family drama.
All the good stuff.
So to really understand this whole thing, we need to start at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Where does this wild ride begin?
We meet Avery Grambs, our protagonist. She's at school, living a pretty normal life.
Until
she gets called to the principal's office.
Oh boy, that never leads to anything good.
No, it does not. In walks Grayson Hawthorne, one of the grandsons of this recently deceased billionaire, Tobias Hawthorne.
Okay, so already we're thrown into this world of wealth and family ties that Avery has no clue about.
She's just as confused as we are at this point.
So what's Grayson doing there? What does he want with Avery?
He basically tells her that she needs to be present for the reading of Tobias Hawthorne's will.
The will? But she doesn't even know this guy.
Right. That's the whole mystery.
Okay, I'm hooked already. So she goes to this will reading.
She does. She and her sister Libby travel to Texas on a private jet, no less.
Private jet already. This is getting interesting.
Right. They arrive at Hawthorne House, which is this grand estate.
Talk about a change of scenery.
Oh, absolutely. And then comes the bombshell. The will is read. And guess what?
What?
Avery inherits the vast majority of Tobias Hawthorne's fortune. Billions of dollars, properties, everything.
Oh, hold on. This is a high school girl we're talking about.
I know. And his own family, his daughters and grandsons, they get almost nothing.
I can only imagine the reaction to that.
Oh, it's not pretty. Let's just say they're not happy. Suspicion, hostility, it all comes out, especially from Grayson.
Of course. He was probably the presumed heir.
Exactly. He feels betrayed, and rightfully so in his eyes.
So Avery is suddenly thrust into this world of unimaginable wealth, surrounded by people who resent her.
It's a lot to handle.
Yeah, but there's got to be a catch, right? It can't be that easy.
You're right. There is. Avery has to live in Hawthorne House for at least a year.
Oh, so she can't just take the money and run.
Nope. And she can't kick any of the family members out either.
So she's stuck living with the people who basically think she stole their inheritance.
Talk about awkward family dinners, right?
Exactly. But Avery, she's not one to back down. She's got this determination to figure out why Tobias Hawthorne chose her.
She wants answers.
And maybe a little bit of revenge, too. I mean, who wouldn't be a little bitter?
It's definitely a mix of emotions. But here's where things get really interesting. Hawthorne House isn't just a mansion.
What do you mean?
It's filled with riddles and puzzles that Tobias Hawthorne left behind.
Like a real-life escape room?
Kind of. These puzzles seem to be the key to uncovering Tobias Hawthorne's secrets and maybe even Avery's connection to him.
So it's a mystery within a mystery.
Exactly. It's like he designed this elaborate game for Avery to play. And solving these puzzles is the only way to figure out why she was chosen.
Sounds like Avery's going to need all the help she can get. Who are the other players in this game?
Well, there are the 4 Hawthorne grandsons, each with their own distinct personalities.
Okay, give me the rundown.
You've got Grayson, the serious and intelligent one who's immediately suspicious of Avery. Then there's Jameson, the adventurous and playful one, who seems to enjoy the challenge of the puzzles.
So those two are already opposites.
Totally. Then we have Nash, the eldest brother. He's more protective of his family and wary of Avery's presence. And lastly, there's Xander, the youngest. He adds a bit of levity to the situation with his charm and easygoing nature.
Sounds like a recipe for some serious drama and maybe even a little romance.
Oh, definitely. There's also Elisa, the lawyer, handling Tobias Hawthorne's estate. She helps Avery navigate all the legal stuff.
So it's got to keep things in order.
Right. And then there's Oren, Tobias's former bodyguard, who provides security for Avery.
Which I'm guessing she's going to need.
Oh, yeah. Things are going to get pretty intense. So are you ready to dive into the first puzzle?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
It all starts with a subtle clue. Tobias Hawthorne never had a middle name, but he signed his will with one tattersall.
Interesting. But how's that a clue?
Look closer at the signature. It's more like tatters all. Almost like he's emphasizing the separation of the words.
Wow, he really thought of everything.
He did. And then things get even more intriguing. Avery receives a copy of the will written in red ink. It highlights the fact that each of the Hawthorne grandsons has a middle name that corresponds to a specific location on the Hawthorne property.
Okay, so the middle names are like pieces of a map.
Precisely.
So where does the first middle name lead them?
The middle name Westbrook sends Avery and Jameson, remember the adventurous one, to a bridge over a brook on the property.
And what do they find there?
a hidden number 8.
So the treasure hunt is officially on.
It's just getting started.
This is incredible. We're going to have to pause our deep dive into the inheritance games right here. But don't worry, we'll be back soon to unravel more of this intricate mystery.
Welcome back. We're picking up right where we left off in the inheritance games. Avery's on the hunt for clues, right?
Yeah, last we heard she was chasing down middle names and secret numbers.
Exactly. She ends up finding another number this time, a 1, hidden in a Winchester rifle.
A Winchester rifle? Talk about hidden in plain sight.
Right. And then there's a 0 that's only visible in the Blackwood Forest when you're looking from a helicopter.
Whoa, hold on, a helicopter. Tobias Hawthorne really went all out with these clues.
Oh, he absolutely did. He wanted to make this a challenge. So they've got these numbers right. The 8 from the bridge, the 1 from the rifle, the 0 from the forest view.
Okay, and what do those numbers mean?
Well, they put them together, and it forms the date 10/18, October 18th.
What's so special about that date?
It's Avery's birthday.
Her birthday. So Tobias Hawthorne, this billionaire she never met, knew her birthday.
It gets even creepier. It wasn't just Avery's birthday. It was also the date of Emily's death.
Emily? Who's Emily?
Emily was the girl whose tragedy still haunts the Hawthorne family. Remember how I said there was a dark past?
Yeah, definitely some heavy vibes in that house.
Well, this is it. Emily's death is a big part of it. And now, Avery's birthday, this date that should be happy, is connected to this tragic event.
Okay, that's definitely unsettling. Especially for Jameson.
Yeah, Jameson was actually romantically involved with Emily before she died.
Oh, wow. So these puzzles are bringing up some painful memories for him.
For sure. It's like Tobias Hawthorne wanted them to confront their past.
Makes you wonder what his endgame was, right?
For sure. So remember how Avery was attacked by Drake?
Libby's abusive ex.
That's the one. Well, they finally figure out how he got onto the Hawthorne property. He was working with Sky Grayson's mother.
What? His own mother helped this guy attack Avery.
It's a pretty shocking betrayal, but it gets even more complicated. Avery keeps digging and uncovers another truth about Emily.
So
Emily was playing a dangerous game of her own. She was romantically involved with both Jameson and Grayson at the same time.
Oh no, love triangle.
Yeah, it definitely explains why this tragedy has had such a lasting impact on the family.
So how did it all go down?
Well, Jameson found out about Emily's two-timing and broke up with her. That same night, Emily convinced Grayson to take her cliff diving.
Yeah.
She died. It turns out she had a pre-existing heart condition.
Oh, man. So it was an accident.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
But the guilt and the what-ifs have haunted the brothers ever since.
That's so sad. They were all so young.
It's a really heartbreaking story.
Do you think Tobias knew about all this?
It's hard to say. But his love for games and puzzles makes you wonder if he was trying to use this inheritance as a way to bring his family back together.
To force them to face their past and maybe even heal.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So are you ready for the final puzzle?
Hit me with it.
This one's hitting in the tunnels beneath Hawthorne House, and everyone needs to be present to unlock it.
Everyone.
They need Avery for facial recognition and all four brothers for their handprints.
Wow. It's like a family affair.
It is. They have to work together to solve it. And the solution, well, it's a phrase they need to unscramble Avery Grambs.
And what did that unscramble to?
A very risky gamble.
Whoa, that's heavy.
It is. This whole inheritance has been a gamble for everyone involved. So with that phrase, a hidden box opens, and they each receive a new envelope from Tobias.
So even from beyond the grave, Tobias is still calling the shots?
It seems that way. And you're not going to believe what's in Avery's envelope.
Tell me.
It triggers a memory of her meeting Tobias once when she was little at a restaurant. And then she looks through photos of Toby, remembered Tobias' supposedly deceased son.
Yeah, missing heir.
Well, she has a realization. She recognizes him as Harry, the homeless man she played chess with in the park.
Wait, what? So the missing heir was right there in front of her the whole time.
It's a mind-blowing twist, right?
Totally. So what happens next? Do they find Toby?
That's the cliffhanger. The book ends with that revelation about Toby's true identity.
No way. So we're left hanging?
We are. But we do find out that Xander, the younger brother, has been helping the others with the game at his grandfather's request.
Interesting. And his letter from Tobias.
It instructs him to find Toby.
Wow. So the mystery continues.
It sure does.
But before we get too caught up in the suspense, let's take a step back. The inheritance games. It's more than just puzzles and hitting clues, right?
Absolutely. It's about family secrets, forgiveness, second chances, the power of truth.
It makes you think about what you would do in Avery's position. Would you embrace the challenge or run for the hills?
That's a great question. It's like a real life choose your own adventure, but with way higher stakes.
And it sounds like Jennifer Lynn Barnes has created a story that's both entertaining and thought-provoking.
Definitely. And she leaves us with one final question. What's going to happen to Toby? Will he be welcomed back into the family after all these years?
And how will Avery handle this new chapter in her life now that she knows the truth about her connection to the Hawthornes?
So many questions. I guess we'll have to wait for the sequel to find out. I think it makes you wonder about family, you know?
Yeah.
All the good and the bad.
Yeah, totally. We've seen how the Hawthorne family's been through so much tragedy and secrets, but there's also this like deep love, especially between the brothers.
Right. It's not all bad. It's that mix of emotions and relationships that makes it so interesting.
Definitely. And Tobias Hawthorne, the one who set this whole thing in motion, he's still a mystery.
Oh, he is. Like, was he really trying to bring his family back together with this game? Or was there something else going on?
I mean, we get glimpses of him through the puzzles and the letters. But his true intentions, who knows?
Maybe he wanted to challenge his grandsons, you know? Make them think differently and find the truth themselves.
Like a final lesson beyond the grave. Pretty intense stuff.
It is. So what about Avery? How do you think she'll handle this whole truth about her connection to the Hawthornes?
I mean, she's tough, she's resourceful.
Right.
But this changes everything, right? It's one thing to inherit from a stranger, but to find out he was connected to you all along, that's got to be a lot.
Totally. It's like her world's been flipped upside down. And now she's part of this family, whether she wants to be or not.
Talk about a complicated situation. And Toby, the missing heir, he's still out there.
Yeah, the story's not over yet. I can't wait to see how Avery deals with all this and if she helps bring Toby back.
Guess we'll have to wait for the sequel to find out. But this has been a wild ride in Inheritance Games. It's had us on the edge of our seats.
It has. Secrets, characters, twists and turns. It's got it all.
And maybe we've even learned a bit about ourselves along the way. You know?
Yeah.
About family and truth and all that.
For sure. If you haven't read it yet, definitely check it out. The Inheritance Games. Jennifer Lynn Barnes did an amazing job creating this world.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. It's been a pleasure exploring this book with you.
Always a good time.
Until next time, keep reading, keep questioning, and keep those pages turning.